is your flow to open up and strengthen your hips. This is very important because we tend to carry physical strain in our hips, but a lot of stress and emotions tend to hold in our hips, especially for women. So if you're feeling anxious or stressed, this is a great sequence to do. So we're gonna start this time at the end of our mat, nice and tall. We're gonna step our right foot forward and our back foot is gonna be parallel with the mat. Your hips are tucked under, they're not shooting back. You're nice and tall. Arms are reaching strong, so warrior two. Again, check that your knee isn't coming out or coming past your toes. So holding nice and strong here, you can feel your right hip opening. On your exhale, you're gonna bring your front hand down into side angle. Now you may be able to reach the mat, that's great, but you wanna lift your fingertips a little bit so you're using your core muscles to keep you nice and strong. If it's too much, you can always bring your hand down on your hip as well. Now a small adjustment, all you're going to do is straighten your front leg to come into triangle. So you're gonna feel a deeper stretch in your thigh. Sinking down nice and low, creating a nice strong straight line of energy with your arms. And then we're gonna exhale, bend that knee again, taking the top hand and coming into revolved, a little bit of a twist. So notice how my back heel lifted up. If you're very flexible, your heel can stay down, that's fine, but you can lift it up. Dropping that heel, working our way back to a bent knee, opening up, straightening that leg, and then lifting back up into warrior two. Windmilling your hands down, stepping your foot back, lowering your chest, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. So you are good to stay right here in your downward dog. I am just gonna monkey walk around, so I'm not facing, or my back is not to you. And we're gonna do the same thing with our left leg. So lifting it up, stepping it through, opening into warrior two. Notice how my chest isn't down, you're nice and tall here. Maybe you can walk that back foot a little bit more. Exhale down into side angle. If you have a block, you can support your hand down onto the mat if needed. Straightening that leg, creating more of a stretch into the hips. And then bending, maybe lifting off the heel as your top hand comes down and you twist. If it's too much on your shoulder, hand on your hip. Back leg very strong. Exhale, working your way back, so dropping that heel, coming back into a bent knee, your side angle, your triangle, and then warrior two, keeping that front knee nice and bent. Exhale, windmilling your hands down, stepping your foot back, lowering your chest, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. From here, lifting up your right leg, and you're gonna bend your knee to your right wrist into pigeon pose. So this is really, really great to stretch and open up your hips. A modification is to bend your back knee if you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So you just wanna breathe and let your hips settle into the pose. You can stay nice and tall, but if you've done this before, you can recline down to your elbows, maybe all the way down to your chest. Pigeon is one of those moves that's really up to you. If you stay tall, you can bend your back knee to get a nice quad stretch as well. So play with whatever feels good for you today and stay somewhere that feels good for you, maybe a little bit longer. When you're ready to switch sides, your hands come in front, you curl your back toe and you lift back into downward dog, walking out your heels, and then coming on to the other side. Same rules apply. So if you feel good and you want more of a stretch in the front of your thigh and your hips as well, you bend that back knee. You can even have your foot rest in your elbow and then maybe your hands come behind and you can open up your chest at the same time. You can even work on balance and have your hand forward. So again, this is your practice, this is your stretch. Your body knows best, so listen to what it wants today. Staying in this last pose as long as feels best for you. And then when you're ready, always come back to downward dog to walk out your heels and even out that stretch in both sides of your hip. And then to come up safely, walk your feet in towards your hands and then very slowly roll yourself all the way up to a standing position.